Safety coming down. Once he saw the safety come down, realized he had a one-on-one opportunity. St. Juice gets it lost in coverage. And
one-on-one, missed the jam. And just a laser in between.
And Garrett Wilson runs a nice route. It's the inside fade with the little stutter, but this ball has to be further outside. It has to be further outside.
It's his third read of this progression. Just a good physical route there on Durant 14. And watch this they call it a rocker step. Watch him lean onto that right foot. That is elite route.
And make a poor decision. Tyreek Hill, this is Cordell Flott purposely playing.
The way he comes off the football, you see Elam's got to turn his hips and go because it's great speed.
Want to call it, you just can't defend it. You're playing a single high safety. He's got all day in the pocket to pat the ball.
A release off the line of scrimmage, but when you've got Preston Smith at 265 pounds who's trying to keep
Humphrey, his first game back after foot surgery. One more time, what did Kenny Pickett tell us in our meeting? If I see 14 match.
Yeah, it's kind of carbon copy of what we're saying on the other sideline with Cooper Kupp.
Off the line of scrimmage because he's cluing into the quarterback. He's beat. Watson's not running full speed because he doesn't want to run out of real estate because they're so close to the end line. But what a play.
On this drive. Brought pressure up the middle. Don't force him to throw it quick. Tough to cover Calvin.
The theme here in the fourth.
If he's trying to throw a fade, he threw it way short. If he's trying to
short and just hard getting up and being physical.
Horse collar tackle. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the score, taunting by the offense, number 10. New York has elected to enforce the
ball for the touchdown, and this time Bates going to be a hero. He jumps what he thinks is
how he just turns around. Is that Fulton? Look at how he turns him around at the top of the route. You've got to expect
Eli Apple. You need a corner to guard Darren Waller, and that's the truth. You see how fast he is.
Stepping up in the pocket and buying just a little bit of extra time out there for CD, and they desperately need. You saw Fred.
It's going to go against the Jets.
Gets it out to his playmakers. No, he's one of the guys that throws it down the field more than almost.
Yeah, these are the routes we're used to, just these little option routes in the slot.
And he just takes a bad angle. Excuse me, Rasul Douglas was outside. Couldn't tell exactly.
And it's a great job. You got to beat the rookie one-on-one. One of the top receivers. Nice little push-off. Gets away with it. Yards after the catch has got to be something. And it's, as a young guy, it just takes time. It's examples like this of learning through this.
On the reception.
Remember what Kenny Pickett told us in our meeting. If he sees one-on-one.
Well, watch this matchup right here. It's one-on-one. There's going to be outside leverage, and he breaks down the leverage by him, and he's just going to mosey back up into the pocket and settle. That's his magic right there, and that's when this team.
Great throw and catch. There's a safety up over the top. You're not supposed to.
It's left side. See Cortland Sutton here getting influenced by Michael Carter. He's kind of lazily coming back to the football. Whoa.
Well, here goes Jamar Chase. He's going to blow the top off the defense, and they're going to hold the other side of the defense with Irwin. He splits the two defenders, turns on the Jets, and Joe Burrow.
Off of the linebacker in and then come out, and then perfect timing. As soon as he comes out of his break, perfect ball placement.
Tell us. Look at this effort.
I mean, what a catch. This
right off his shoulder.
Keeps it down. Yeah, that's going to be down for sure.
So they take everybody on the back end. Fake a quick screen to the wide receiver, take the other receiver, wash him all the way across the field. Really sell with the
Oscar, who's a safety. So this is a favorable matchup. It's not just a running back. Gibson knows how to run routes. He knows how to track. Pretty good job here by Logan Thomas getting separation. There's the blitz. It gets picked up. Ball's late.
You know, even when you have the right coverage, they've got him bracketed inside and out. But he can still give him a chance.
4 yards after the catch.
Yep. Took a gamble and rolled a 7. Not on the come-out roll either.
Really nice play and a good job also by Jimmy Garoppolo because he recognizes the blitz.
Watch Fuller bite on it, man-to-man. Ooh, little inside move, and the throw could not have been any better. Try to keep Thomas's left arm away from trying to secure the ball out and up. He bites on it, just doesn't have the speed to pull away, but still has a chance. Realizes his quarterback's in trouble. He gets to the top of this route, looks back, and then works back to the inside, just settles right there in the hole. That's Forbes, the rookie. They go again. We saw that earlier. They wanted that matchup, that one-on-one matchup with DJ Moore against the rookie who had a tough outing last week against the Eagles.
In the 2-minute drive, but a beautiful bench route right here where he just crosses up leverage on Pat Surtain and a nice high point catch.
Just a lot of cushion here by Witherspoon. Just playing so off coverage again.
But I tell you, when they picked up Ward last year from Kansas City, I just thought that he elevated. We're talking about Deebo Samuel is going to go out in motion here, and then that's going to match him up against the inside linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch. Well, that's a wide receiver on a linebacker. He was flying out of that motion, and one thing we've learned out of the league this year is that guys that are going in motion sometimes add that little extra element. When he set a new 49ers completion percentage record, and I said, really? Over some of the guys?
Edwards coming over, just tracking the ball and making a play on that. And McDuffie's had an outstanding start to this year playing in the slot.
Vikings on play action, it really worked.
Yeah, that's what I said. You see how everyone goes down? This is what Watson goes right up. Kind of takes it away.
Flash horse collar tackle of the game, I think.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense number 32.
Player out of Clemson said he catches the ball kind of like DeAndre Hopkins, which you just saw it right there.
Every time he's running this route, they're playing outside leverage and just giving him the in-break. Times, Hoyt, number 97, we've talked about him a couple times. He's an edge rusher. He's 300 pounds. Look left. One-on-one on the backside, and Puka Nacua just beats James Bradbury one-on-one.
And right here, he goes up, uses that body, and that's not easy to do against Murphy.
Oh, it was a left foot up off the ground. That's close.
Well, this is the guy who's averaging more.
First foot, dragged the second. All right, let's take a look at his feet. I think he double catches it. He kind of catches it twice. Left foot. Oh, that is a pick. What a turn of events.
To get that one down.
On the first 5 series, Zach Wilson had 5 completions.
Start playing outside this year. McDuffie goes inside to the slot, but when you look at
this is a great job. They're trying to bring the short motion to have some confusion, but they do a nice job. Roby passes it off. Got a 3-way go. He's matched up here on Nicholas Morrow, number 41. If he's going to be outside, I'm going to break it.
You don't get that extra half a second to allow him to keep going.
Yeah, he's had 3 of those, but not saying they were perfect passes.
But you got to put this guy in space. Garrett Wilson stems right at it and then just takes off with his speed that no one can keep up with him. If he's just in that open space, screaming across.
He's had a great day here in his return from that hamstring injury. It's just, you got to imagine, he's run so many routes.
Brian Flores, an outstanding job in design. You see Metellus getting.
And just a great little nod 9. Devontae Smith.
Pickup of 19. Well, he's just going to beat the double team on a little sail route. Get up the field quickly, get foot to foot, face to face, and just break off the defender. You see outside leverage onto. Well, this is just a little bit late on the throw. Zach Ertz is going to show like he's running a corner out, slam on the brakes, and come back to it. Josh Dobbs has to progress past that.
Nice timing by Javon Holland.
And then there's the route on the under. Wilson almost undercut it. Oh, they had a chance there with Woods. This is who gets him. It's Hubbard popping out. He's the one who screws up that read, and he misses the throw to pass.
And these are the types of routes that you need to see from Pittsburgh. Give George Pickens a chance.
2 big plays on the sideline, this time to Schuster.
Well, the Saints talked to us about they wanted to.
Yeah, and Slayton, he's their most consistent wide receiver. Does a really, really good job of beating man coverage. Right there going against Xavier Howard, who's a good man. But look at the route. Gets right inside. His frame is too big.
Up of 33.
It's when you trust your guy. Back shoulder, completely covered by Nelson, and look at the hand strength. Go out there, catch it away from your body. So the DB, he's trying, he's fighting to get that thing out.
Games, and he's adding to it.
Yeah, just a real nice move right there. Just that little opening, but that's the timing with Jared Goff. He's got a free play in that situation.
Picked up 27. Jared Goff has a...
Once you start feeding that fullback, feeding that run game, you're going to get some one-on-one coverage, and there's just...
Well, let's watch the route here. He's going to be able to get on top of C.J. Henderson, and this is a heck of a throw by Jared Goff.
He's come through for our team so far.
I believe with this catch is really the first time this season that he's been over 70 yards.
Shoulder by Trevor Lawrence. Puts Lawrence over 300 yards and Ridley over 100 yards on the day.
I think he knows this is coming. And look at the timing. The timing that it takes. If that ball doesn't come out,
space.
That was a huge catch. He's got a nice big frame on him, but that's a huge catch.
With a 25-yarder.
This play is peak DeAndre Hopkins. This is when he was at his prime.
Back inside, go up the football field, let Drake London clear it out right there, and then just find that soft spot in the zone.
You'll see it here. Great job by Josh Allen. You see the defenders back to you. You know he can't see the football. You throw it at the back shoulder. Really well done by Hardy here to cross the corner over at the top. Good throw, but took a long time to develop, but the safety on the right-hand side jumps the corner route. Little slide to his right and a big throw down.
Bryce Young.
That drive started at their own 25-yard line.
Working on the outside, the little slant to Jonathan Mingo, staying with it the whole time.
Titans are just going to play zone, and really they have everything covered. Everything is right there, and you're going to see they're trying to get the ball downfield. He's got a safety in a corner on him. Nowhere inside for Mo Alley Cox.
Clock stops, 2:23 to go. I'll say it again, big play Gabe. 2 plays all the way down inside the 10. Well done by number 13.